Hi there, Miss Kristina in Maker Exchange over at Corona Public Library, bringing you episode 5 of video editing. Today, we're going to be working on adding in elements into your Adobe Rush project. So first, you will want to download Adobe Rush, which is free at adobe.com if you haven't already, and open up the program, create a new program. I've actually already started one and have some samples for you. So you want to get the video footage that you want to add elements to. So here's an example of something that I created. This was a scene or a shot that was added into our Star Wars Reads trailer. So you can actually go and check that out on our Instagram or our Facebook page. This is a scene from the Crystal Cove National Park. And clearly, we do not have a planet in our atmosphere, so that was added in. And the way I did that was by adding in this planet, which has no background, and changed the color as well as some of the other features to make it look a little more realistic. So just really quickly, want to show you the shot. So this was done on a tripod, so that way the video would not move. And in this shot, this is a copyright-free video that I had found online of a park. And here I actually used the same exact planets, but I rotated them a little bit, as well as made the back or the furthest planet a little bit more transparent in order to create that more realistic feel of it. And so here's what that shot looked like. It was also a part of the Star Wars Reads video. So here you can actually see that the video does move, the camera does move a little bit, and you can see how the planets do not move. This is something that we cannot change in Adobe Rush. That will be done in either Adobe Premiere Pro or in After Effects, and is a little bit more advanced. But if you have a tripod, then it's not really noticeable, and you can get away with adding in different elements in Adobe Rush. So with the same exact video footage of this one, I have a few background-free images that I'm going to add to the park. So since I was working on Star Wars Reads, I added in a little Yoda, a little cartoon Yoda. So here you can see, even though I clicked on the screen and it looks like Yoda is highlighted, it is actually the park that is highlighted. So you want to make sure that the element that you want to change is highlighted. And then we can rotate it, crop it, and size it. So I'm going to shrink him down so he looks like he actually belongs in the park. Given his size, I cannot make him, I don't know if I actually want to make him as small as he's supposed to be. So that looks good. And I'm going to go over to the color tab. And I want to check out some of these presets, see if it helps him look a little more realistic. So we're looking at the lighting and the shadows and see if I can match that. And I think film looks pretty good. I'm going to go into edit and see if any of these will actually help out. So maybe fade. So I think he actually looks pretty good right where he is. Let's see what that looks like. And mind you, also, I have already stretched out the image to be the length of the clip. So when I originally got him, you can see where the line ends. That is originally where it was. And so I just clicked, held, and drug it over and let it snap into place. And same thing with the other side. And I currently have the playback preview quality on low so that it could be a little bit faster. So that's why when I play it, it doesn't look so great, but I can tell just from experience that it looks the way that I want it to look. So in order to get my planet like I had in the original, same thing, I had stretched it out so you can see where it originally was, and I stretched it out and let it snap into place so it's the entire length of the clip. I want to make sure that the planet is highlighted so that I can go in and make alterations. Now with Adobe Rush, we cannot actually have it hide behind the trees. That is something we can do. That's going to require masking. So that's going to be in Adobe After Effects, and you can do it as well in Adobe Premiere Pro. It's a little tedious, time consuming, and it's a little more advanced, especially with these backgrounds with all of the little details. However, if we just stay above the tree line, it will still look, we can still make it look pretty realistic without having to go into those programs. So if you don't have access to those programs, or if you are not ready for those programs, you don't like those programs, we can still get by with a very similar visual effect with Adobe Rush. So I'm actually going to keep this one a little bit larger so we can see more of the detail. And I'm going to first make it a little more transparent. So the transparency is going to create the effect of the atmosphere. So going to opacity, see what 44% does, not bad. And when working with this, you just want to play around to see what looks best for you. And also, depending on the quality of what you're working with, you can change the view to be at a higher quality, so that way you can see. But because I'm using an image and I have the video still, I can keep it at a low preview quality, which keeps things running a little bit faster. So I think I like it at 19%. Just for fun, I'm going to use the rotating so you can see. So that is actually how I made this shot. I made those two planets look a little bit different by just doing a slight rotation. And I actually used the same exact planet here with just a slight rotation. So that looks pretty good. I'm just going to double check my colors, see if anything helps it look a little more realistic. I want to undo and make sure that the planet is selected. So I think it actually looks best without any of the presets. And I think it looks pretty good without any of the additional edits. And for fun, I actually added in, I found a TIE fighter that has no background. So that is going to be the key element of adding anything to your videos or to any of your projects, is making sure that there's no background, and also making sure that the image is large enough so that if you are watching this, if it's for a YouTube video, that is large enough that it will not be pixelated. So I'm going to snap it into place, drag it and snap it into place. Make sure it's highlighted, click on it and resize it. Now, because we're dealing with something that is actually within our atmosphere and can be up close, we can put the TIE fighter in front of the trees and it can still look realistic because it looks as though it could be flying at us. And another thing that we can do is even add in the cross dissolve. And we can see how that looks. So the cross dissolve doesn't really work when it's in front of the tree. Perhaps if we move it away from the tree and we can see how that looks. I'm actually going to make the cross dissolve a little bit shorter. And remember, I have it on preview on low. So the final outcome will actually look better. So not bad. So there won't be that skipping that you see when you're using the low quality. And you can see how the screen is bobbing up and down just a little bit. So in Adobe Rush, or in Adobe Premiere Pro and in Adobe After Effects, you can actually link the TIE Fighter and the planet to the background, so that way it will move with the camera just as everything else in the shot is moving with the camera. However, Yoda, because he's on the ground, he's actually okay without there being any attachments. And so if you were working on Adobe Premiere Pro or if you were working on After Effects, you would create a null, which is basically just an invisible background that would connect the objects that you want to work with the camera. So that way Adobe knows where to place them. We don't have that option in Rush, so you just want to double check pre-screen before you render to make sure that things look as you want them to look, and double checking that nothing is crossing over that would take away the effect that you're trying to create. But all in all, you can actually create elements that have an appearance that you worked on Adobe Premiere Pro or After Effects without having to go through the lengthy hassle. So this is just one more thing that you can add. If you're having issues with finding objects that have backgrounds and you need to remove the backgrounds, you can actually do a quick Google search and find software that will remove the background for you. Or you can also use Canva. So that's one of the places that I like to use. So it removes the background for you, as well as there's a lot of stock footage that is copyright free or free to use. And that is it for today. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you have anything specific you want us to work on, let us know. And we will see you next time.